I'm your host, Lizeth Alvarado, and this is the Laws of Epic Beauty. I'm so excited to have on the show today a very special guest who is creating outlets for women of all backgrounds to connect. She is recognizing women for their major achievements and using her background to give back to humankind. Patricia Watts, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. And it's great to see you again, Liz.
So great to see you as well. You always cheer up the room. So I'm so excited to have you here. Now, you've been creating a much needed awareness through your nonprofit, which is We Model USA organization. Now, what is it all about?
Yeah, so you're right. And I'm so excited about the community embracing it. But WeModel USA is a women empowerment platform. And what we do is provide aspiring young models international and cultural opportunities. But the thing is that they utilize their platform to help spread awareness on global social issues. One of the issues that actually affect women and youth is human sex trafficking. So we use the lens of beauty, fashion, and entertainment to spread awareness on human sex trafficking.
Now, what led you into starting this organization?
Well, I always had a thing about fashion and beauty. And then during my tenure in the Army for 22 years, working abroad, living abroad, you experience a whole lot of things. And so, one of the things between rape, domestic violence, trafficking, those are the things that actually I saw, I experienced, and it resonated that I needed to get involved and make sure that women were empowered so that they won't become vulnerable to these type of activities.
Yes, and how did you become aware that human sex trafficking was a big issue that needed to be addressed?
Yeah, I guess, a couple of my duty stations, and I'm not saying that these areas are more prominent, but what I would say that, international laws sometimes do not capture all of the criminal activities that are happening. And so living abroad and seeing it face up, or even in wartime, in Afghanistan and going into villages and seeing some of the trafficking that was happening. I just knew that it was a problem. Coming back here and getting more involved into the model and the fashion industry, just with the research and then taking women abroad, I saw that it was still prominent, it was still an issue. And then just here in the community, because trafficking is the second largest crime in the world. The US is the number one consumer of sex. So thinking that it doesn't exist in the United States is just not facing reality. It is happening in our backyards, and I believe that we can do something to make a difference.
And now this is something that is not really talked about often. I mean, I don't think I've heard much about it until I met you. What do you think it is that's, people aren't really talking about this? What do you think the reasons are for that?
Well, I think a few things. When I say the second largest crime in industry, criminal industry, is driven by money. It is something that is happening on all levels. And if you think about $150 billion a year, then this is not just your low level personnel. It goes all the way up in the ranks. And so, first of all, because it's taboo, and because it is driven by more than just the average criminal, then it is not going to be talked about. And because it's ugly, modern day slavery is that's what human trafficking is. And so people want to turn their back towards it because they don't want to face the realities of this being ugly in their neighborhoods.
Yes, and I can understand that because this is something that, it's shame. There's a lot of shame behind it, and some people, of course, if it's the second largest crime, then that means it's just happening right underneath our nose. So I think it's great what you're doing. Now you've got a big event that's coming up next week on April 23rd. Tell us about this event. And there's fashion, there's beauty, there's entertainment. Tell us about what this event is all about and what you're looking to bring from this.
Yes, I'm so excited about this. First, let me talk about the models. And we got models all the way from 6 years old, all the way up to 50, 60 years old. And when you give a young person a mission or a task and to see them embrace it and what they're doing on their platform, it's just, appealing. It is so, it makes you want to do even more. And I think that's where it went with the community. So the whole community is embracing it. We have a human sex trafficking museum that's going to educate and bring us more awareness of it. But then we're going to have a competition on the runway where the models are going to use their beauty, their modelistic appearance, and they're going to show what this crime or this criminal activity means to them, to us, through the runway. And so I'm so excited about this. I don't want to talk about it too much because I want you to come out there and actually see what we have to represent.
Yes, and I will certainly be there to support the cause. I'm very excited for this event and for this movement. And, what are some of the ways in which the viewers can help in this mission?
Yeah, first of all, it's coming out because the campaign, and this is what it is, a campaign, connect to protect. So the first thing we just need to do is start communicating with each other and knowing that if somebody is vulnerable, make sure that you help them out and making them more safe. But then when you see something, just don't walk away from it. Pick up the phone, call. It's rather to be safe than sorry. So if you see a young girl out there in the middle of the night by herself, give a call and let somebody go and check and make sure that she's okay. But the other thing is donating towards the cause. I'm coming out with a campaign plea, but I'm going to wait until the day of the event to do the pitch. But you can look on WeModel USA and see something like a phone. Just come on out and actually see what it's all about. I think it'll be exciting, and I think that if everyone got involved, they can say they helped contribute to preventing our young girls and children from being victims of human sex trafficking.
Yes, that's amazing. And Patricia, I think you're absolutely amazing. I mean, you've worked in the federal government sector for 33 years. You proudly served in the US Army for 22 years, and now you're focused on entrepreneurship, women empowerment, mentoring, and community leadership development. Now, you're doing so much, and then now you're starting this nonprofit organization. Now, was there a time in your life when you felt that it was a challenge to keep going? Because, someone could look at you and say, wow, how does she do it all? And you just seem like, a superwoman. But was there a time in your life when you were just like, gosh, I can't keep pushing forward? Like, and what happened and how were you able to push through?
Yeah, first of all, I think we all have a purpose in life, and you have to embrace it, especially when you're passionate about it. I did serve 22 years in the military, and I think that's what that and God gave me my purpose. But I can tell you that all the time that in the military was not all just fun, and it wasn't just all love. I mean, it came with some things that have scarred me, and where that you fight depression, you fight the purpose sometimes just because of some of the things you have seen. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to drive back and say that if I didn't think it was my purpose, I wouldn't be this passionate about this issue. And at the end of the day, I have a granddaughter. She's 6 years old, and I have to make sure that I'm doing everything within my means to make sure that she doesn't become vulnerable or a victim of human sex trafficking. But it's not only her, she's the representation of our future. It's about our children. And that's my purpose, is protecting our children.
That's amazing. You're right. Children are our future, and I think you're such a great role model for them. I mean, just having them be a part of this huge initiative and on the runway, and you're just also giving other people a feeling of purpose. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, Patricia.
No, thank you. I think that you and I are a lot alike because you give a lot of love. And I tell you, if and we when we start talking about human sex trafficking, why do they become vulnerable? Why do they become victims? A lot of time it's because they only want love, but they feel they actually get attached to the negative love, the wrong type of love. And I think if we were just more about agape, unconditional love for our neighbors or for our loved ones or for our friends, then we wouldn't have so many people becoming victims to others that are exploiting them for the wrong reasons. They would know what true love is.
Yes, and I think it's great. This awareness right off the bat from childhood is so important because a lot of times, we get attached to a certain type of love, and it's an unhealthy kind of love. And before you know it, you years and years and years go by, and then you start to uh, continue with that same type of bad love. It's not healthy, and we don't know the difference. And I think if we understand what healthy love is versus unhealthy love at an early age, we can learn to break the cycle right away instead of becoming conditioned to having the wrong type of love. So I love the fact that you're getting the children started at an early age so that they can understand what healthy love looks like. I think that's so important for us to really talk about. And you're actually showing children, you're showing the world what it's like to have that healthy kind of love and bringing the awareness together. And you're also making it fun. You're bringing beauty and fashion, and I think it's just amazing everything that you're doing, Patricia. And so I'm so excited that for this event that's coming next week, and for all the more that is to come as well.
Yes.
And yes, and so the donations that are coming in, what is it that you're looking to? What is exactly going towards a donation?
So the donation part is actually 100% that's focused on the nonprofit, the 501c3. And I told you I didn't want to do the pitch today, but it really is a means of how we are going to go about being able to protect children from online predators. If we look, even since COVID, that's the one area of human sex trafficking that has really been exploited significantly, online trafficking. And so we have to get a hold of that, or we're just going to lose our kids. And I can tell you that once a child or once a person get trafficked, 99% of the time they don't return. And we just can't have that. So we can't have our numbers increasing in the DMV area, and we can't have victims of human sex trafficking at all.
Yes. So that's exciting. I mean, having an app right at your fingertips is important, especially now with having awareness. And a lot of people don't know what to do if they happen to even, come across something like this. Or sometimes we might think it may look like sex trafficking, but because there's not enough conversation about it, we don't really know what it is to look for, right? So I think that's amazing that the donations are going towards creating an app that can be right at our fingertips so we can help protect the children, because once you become a victim, then it's hard to get out of this. So
Yeah, I just want to say one piece of that too, and this is a lot of people don't realize, but anybody that actually contact a child that is under the age of 18 and they are trying to exploit them for any type of sex, it is in a category of human sex trafficking. So you don't want that tag on you, and plus you shouldn't be doing it anyway. So just one fact that I do want you to be aware of.
okay, great. That's perfect. Thank you for sharing that. And Patricia, what is your law of epic beauty?
So my law of epic beauty, it has to be your inner beauty. I really feel like if you really felt beautiful inside, it resonates outside. It makes you more positive. It makes you more loving, and it makes you more receptive to actually being a better person all the way around. I really feel like everyone's mission is to give. And if you give because you feel good, that's the way that makes this world, make humankind better all the way around. So inner beauty is my law of epic beauty.
Yes, I love that. And it's so true. When you do give, it does something to you as well. Like you're also giving to yourself. So I always say, when whatever you give out is really what you're giving in. So I think that's a beautiful share. And Patricia, I'm so honored to have you on the show. Thank you for bringing the light that is needed to the world on human sex trafficking. I cannot wait to attend your event, WeModel USA Fashion Show and Gala on April 23rd. And we can purchase tickets at wemodelusa.com. And
That's right.
yes, and
It'll be at the MGM. I don't think we said that. It'll be at the MGM. So if you can't find me online, go to the MGM and we'll still take your money.
MGM National Harbor in Maryland, right outside Washington, D.C. Okay, well, thank you so much, Patricia. I'm so glad to have you on, and I'm looking forward to more to celebrate with you.
Thank you, Lizeth, and I'll be happy to see you on next Saturday. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, thank you so much. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.